It's the Orioles on Masson in Birdland on a beautiful night for baseball as the final of four, the Red Sox and the Orioles, those with a chance to split this four-game set. What a ball game last night. One not to be forgotten. It will be relived a lot, especially for the folks who hung around for about 4 hours to see it played. It was a heck of a baseball game, and for the Orioles, it was comeback after comeback. Not to be lost in the win is how they did it, because they did it without home runs. Let's take a look. Red Sox got on top early. First inning, it would be Trumbo delivering. That is a big base hit with the bases loaded. Trumbo would bring in Jones and Kim, and the Orioles were on top 2-1. Alvarez, he would pick up the RBI. Trumbo comes around. The Orioles had a 4-1 lead at that point. In the second inning, Manny Machado needed to get one. He did. Sacrifice fly, hauled in, no chance. Jones scores 5-4, Orioles on top. Third inning, Orioles needed to come back again. Flaherty this time, he would pick up the RBI. Jonathan Scope would come around to score, tied the game at 7-7. Manny Machado again, this time 2 outs. Flaherty scores. The Orioles are on top 8-7. They had to do it again. This time in the 6th inning, it would be Matt Wieters. It would be an error on Pedroia of all people. Chris Davis would score 9-8, and the Orioles were on their way. An amazing number of comebacks, Mike Bordick, by a resilient Oriole team last night.
That was really an amazing game last night for the Baltimore Orioles. I think a huge confidence builder, of course, for their offense. Not hitting any home runs, but still able to push the 13 across the plate. I love the fact that they drew 9 walks in the ballgame, and they were able to keep that patience really through the whole ball game. A lot of times we've seen this team, once they start getting a couple hits, guys start to loosen up and they try hitting the long ball, and especially in a game like that, nobody really got outside themselves, and it was exciting to see, and they answered the call. This Red Sox lineup is, they're going to keep coming. They've proven that every game this series, actually throughout the month of May with every team they've faced, but the Orioles bounced back nicely, a huge win for them.
And I asked after the ball game, I said, now when is the last time a team, Red Sox in this case, hit 5 home runs and lost the game? Tuesday. Can you believe that? The Detroit Tigers this Tuesday had a ball game in which 5 home runs were hit against them, and they lost the ball game. I couldn't believe it.
Amazing, right? Yeah,
it's just unbelievable.
A lot of solo home runs, but yeah, still pretty impressive. I'll tell you what, this Red Sox team 1 through 9 have been impressive. Really, everything that's been advertised. You heard them start to take off, and you're hearing about them in the papers, watching the highlights and stuff. It's been impressive to watch this team, and this is without Jackie Bradley Jr., who's been away on his paternity leave. The Betts at the top has just had a historical series.
Congratulations to Jackie Bradley Jr. and his wife, baby girl, has joined them. Baby born in Boston, so they're going to stay there. They'll join the Red Sox when they get home. Importance tonight of this start for Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, I think it's crucial for him if he wants to stay in the rotation. I think the time's come. The Orioles showed that today with sending Mike Wright down. You know, if you want to win, you have to make these moves. If guys aren't doing their job, you got to try somebody else. And Ubaldo still has time left, obviously, on his contract. But this year, it's just been so frustrating. He has not been able to get over the hump, make the adjustments that he has made in prior years. You know, last year, the first half of the season, he was the Orioles' best pitcher. But he hasn't been able to get on that roll yet. This could be the night. You know, start tonight. Francisco Pena, young catcher, somebody different, you know, a new look. That might be all it takes for Ubaldo.
All right, we're about to find out as they wrap up this 4-game set when we come back to Camden Yards on this beautiful baseball evening. Red Sox and the Orioles, first pitch. and by Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. Mostly clear skies, little breeze blowing out towards center, and the temperature at 77 degrees at game time. Just a glorious night for a baseball game. It'll be Betts, Pedroia, and Bogaerts, Ortiz, Ramirez, and Shaw, Swihart, Young, and Vasquez. Dustin Pedroia, he's hit now in the last 14 against the Orioles. That is the longest such streak going.
Well, let's take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball 59% of the time. That breaking ball has the slow curve and the slide of the change. A split finger, and he needs to get to. The only way he's really going to get to that pitch is by getting ahead. When he gets ahead, his strikeout rates jumps up. This year, the .636 earned run average really ballooned after the last start, only lasting 1 2/3 innings. 3 earned runs, actually 6 runs crossing the plate. But the defense let Ubaldo down. You cannot give teams extra opportunities, especially when your pitcher is struggling with command. This year, 30 walks on the season for Ubaldo. Got to get in the strike zone, and has to be quality pitches against this Red Sox lineup tonight.
He is 0-1 this year against the Red Sox. There is Pena, who's going to work behind the plate. First game in his time since being called up yesterday with the Orioles, with Caleb Joseph out. And here's Mookie Betts. 5-game hit streak, 7 for 13 in this series, 5 home runs in 3 games, and 7 RBIs, putting up all kinds of unbelievable numbers with the start that he has had in 2 games. He's tied the major league record for home runs in a 2-game span with 5. That's a major league record. He's the first player to hit 5 home runs in a 2-game span as a leadoff hitter. First player in the majors to score 50 runs this year, and the first player in Major League history to homer in both the first and second inning of consecutive ball games. When you do that, you get a break on a check swing, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, looked like he went on that. That certainly would have helped Ubaldo. The hard slider down and away. Betts getting out, but he did hold that up pretty close. Pena pointing down right away, trying to get the first out on the board. Betts been one of the toughest Red Sox to get out in this lineup.
2-2 delivery on the way, will be outside. Red Sox continue, of course, to lead the majors in runs scored in the first inning. So important to get through the first against John Farrell's ball club, leading the Orioles by 2 in the American League East. 3-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled back by Betts. First start against the Red Sox this year for Ubaldo at Fenway Park, his second start of the year. He pitched for 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits. The Orioles were beaten in that ball game by a score of 4-2, and he took the loss. 3-2 delivery, a ground ball that'll go to short. Got to hurry it up. Quick throw, Machado in the dirt, and a beautiful pick on the backhand by Chris Davis.
Oh, nice play, and nice to finally get Mookie Betts out to start the ball game. Manny Machado showing the range up the middle, and how about the quick release? And you get on top, you put it down low, give Chris Davis a chance to pick it. Beautiful play here. Davis has made some exceptional picks for this Orioles infield this year. You spike the ball because on the run, with all the momentum going, you don't have as much control and accuracy. Many times you see guys try to get it there on the fly in that play, and Yoikson away, very inaccurate. Nice play by Machado, keeping it down.
Here is Pedroia, who virtually always takes the first pitch. He too has had a big series with the 6 for 14. He's had 4 RBIs against the Orioles in this series, upping his average to .316 on the year, and he will take the pitch for a strike. So Jimenez looking for a good first inning here on the year. This has not been a good inning. He has given up 8 first inning runs this season. 1-1 delivery is going to miss inside, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on Pedroia.
Baldo's been through quite a bit. Certainly had some success here with the Orioles, but most times not so good. Off to a very slow start this year, but he continues to try to be as positive as possible. He coming into this game feeling it's time for a change. It's got to turn around sometime. Keeps working hard, and the Orioles rotation, Baldo hope that this is the game and he gets back on track.
Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way to Pedroia. That'll be their first strike. Baldo's last 3 outings, he has lost 10-0, 10-2, and 11-4. He's 0-3 in those 3 starts with an ERA of 11.57. That's why this game is so important, because you're really at the end of the road in chances. Ground ball towards second base. Jonathan Schoop up with the bobble, recovers, and a couple of ground ball outs.
I'd like to see that. The ground ball outs to this solid infield here. Orioles defense this evening. Kim, Jones, and Trumbo in the outfield. Machado and Schoop, double play combination. Flaherty, he's heating up with the bat. 3 straight games with an RBI. He's over at third. Davis at first. And the rookie Pena behind the plate. He's called up with Caleb Joseph being on the disabled list.
2 down, nobody on. Here's Bogaerts, 25-game hit streak, longest in the majors. The Orioles move today. Brian Duensing called up from AAA. Mike Wright sent down. Duensing is with the ball club and in the bullpen. There he is, 33 years old, 1-0. He had a couple of saves, 25 strikeouts, 15 games between AAA Omaha and AAA Norfolk this season. He was with the Twins in 55 games with Minnesota last year. 0-2 delivery, and that's going to go to short. Hauled in. And Jimenez gets the start that he wanted. Machado in the soft line drive and a 1-2-3 inning. We'll look at the Orioles lineup in a minute. We'll see how this one goes compared to last night. Take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Jones, Kim, and Machado, Davis, Trumbo, and Alvarez, Schoop, Flaherty, and Francisco Pena behind the plate. Last night, Chris tied his career high in walks in a ball game with 4.
Let's take a look at Rick Porcello's pitch arsenal this season. Fastball 61% of the time. Always known as a good sinker ball pitcher, but the 4-seamer's starting to come along, and that's why he's off to such a solid start this year. He has the curve slider and the change as well. 7 wins in his 10 starts this year. 3.68 earned run average. Very good start for Porcello. Strikeouts up, walks down, opponents hitting just 232 overall. Lefties way down to 192, but he has given up 8 long balls this year.
3-7 lifetime against the Orioles with a 5.5 ERA. 1-4 in games pitched here, as Adam Jones will take it for a strike. He's had 6 starts in this ballpark and 5.29 ERA in games pitched here at Camden Yards. 0-1 delivery. Adam on a pitch inside to him. Will foul it off right at the plate.
You see that great movement on the sinker from Porcello. When he came over to Boston, making a big deal, Porcello was asked to start coming up with some different pitches. He needed to develop a 4-seam fastball off that sinker. It took him a little while to get the hang of that pitch. Ran in some trouble the first half of last year, started settling in, and it just carried over to this year.
0-2 will be up high. Buck Showalter saying before the ball game, different pitcher than we have seen in the past. Buck said it is the sinking fastball and the changeup that he has harnessed, and that has made him a much tougher pitcher to get hits off. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he was started out with a strikeout.
Well, that's the four-seam fastball, riding it up and out of the zone pitch prior, but this one too enticing. Adam Jones seeing it big, but swinging it through. Very effective high fastball.
And for Porcello, you talk about the years difference. There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, very elevated earned run average, 4.92, but believe it or not, the midway point, it was up over 6. So he's made his adjustments. He's around the plate more, walking fewer hitters, and more command, I think, of all of his offerings.
And that stat brought to you by Express Care, a LifeBridge health partner. For locations, visit whywaitintheer.com. 1-0 delivery. Kim back in the lineup in left field, right-hander on the mound. He's gone 3 for 8. Continues to earn the right to be out there in these ball games, starting in left field with that bat. 382. He's 21 for 55, a homer, 3 RBIs, 4 doubles, and a shift on against him.
Yeah, he has been raking his third 3-hit game of the season. He's picked up hits in 12 of his 19 games. He's really starting to get the feel at the plate right now. See the confidence growing, turning on more fastballs.
2-1. He's got another one. He goes the other way, base hit to left field. Played by Swihart. Wee Willie would have loved him because he hits them where they ain't. And he's on with a single with 1 away here in the first inning.
So in last night's ball game, they're challenging with fastballs in. He turns and beats the shift here. Fastball away, and look at the approach. Short to the baseball, letting it travel. Clean single. Out to left. Nice swing by Kim.
So the Orioles pick up their first hit, and Manny Machado coming up. Manny has had 3 for 13 in the series, still at 314 on the year. He's hit Porcello hard, 7 for 18 in his career against the Red Sox starter. Manny going after one that comes in at 84 miles an hour, and there's that speed variation. It had him off balance.
Taking a little off right there.
Manny now at 290 lifetime, with 6 home runs against Boston in his career. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be the center field, not deep. Young has done a great job filling in for Jackie Bradley Jr. Puts it away.
Take a look at the Red Sox defense behind Porcello, Swihart, Young, and Betts. In the Sox outfield, Bogarts and Pedroia. Double play combination. Shaw over at third. Ramirez starting at first, and Vasquez back behind the plate.
Porcello does not issue many walks. Let's see how he pitches to Chris Davis, who had 4 of them in the ball game last night. Chris has had just 2 hits in 26 at bats. Porcello looking at Davis, who has gone 0 for 9 in this series, and the pitch to him will be taken for a strike. Big shift on against him. They can play it completely with Pedroia way out in right field here with 2 down. The 8 for 26, and 3 of those have been home runs off Porcello. High long set, and a timeout requested and received just as he was getting ready to deliver. That will not make the Red Sox bench happy.
Yeah, see home plate umpire Jeff Nelson waving the hand.
Asked for by Chris Davis, and he got it, even though he didn't step out of the box. 0-1 delivery. Big cut and an 0-2 count.
Well, I think the changeup that Porcello has really developed and felt good about this year. His pitch to lefties, while they're hitting under 200, his ability to move that fastball around. He'll start the 2-seamer off the front hip of the lefty, try to bring it back over that inside corner.
0-2 delivery the other way. Look, Showalter's talked about this a lot this year, and he did so again before the game today. He's talking about the reverse splits that so many pitchers have this year. Buck said he's never seen numbers like he's seen this year. What he means by that is Porcello, prime example. The left-handers should be hitting higher against him than right-handers. The left-handers hitting 192, as Mike said, and the right-handers 276. That's a reverse split,
right,
from what you would normally expect. And well, just as Mike said on Porcello, Buck said in almost every case it's the changeup that has made the difference for right-handed pitchers against left-handed batters.
You know, I also think defensive alignment comes into play there.
Yeah.
The big lefty, the shifts on. They can't, or we don't see it as often, big right-handed hitters. They can't shift everybody over.
That'll go into the shift. The flip's going to go to second base. Not quite sure what to do with it that time. That was Shaw, the third baseman, who flips the other way to Bogaerts to get the out. One left on. Remind you to enjoy a cold one as we look forward to Miller time later in our ball game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite. Great shot on high. The sun setting, lights on, taking effect, and Ortiz coming to the plate. Jimenez well aware of the home runs that have been hit. Red Sox have 12. First 3 games, the Orioles have not hit any. Amazing. But it has gone that way. David Ortiz has been part of that home run barrage. Couple of home runs, 4 for 12 in the series. 2 home runs are his 2 RBIs in this now 4-game set. 1-0 delivery. That'll be taken up high. He has not fared well against Jimenez. Of all the hitters in this Red Sox lineup, he's had the toughest time of all. 2 for 20.
Yeah.
With a home run.
Hard to figure, right?
Yep. He will take that pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
And Ortiz riding a 9-game hit streak where he has just been tearing the cover off the ball. And almost 500, 472, 5 homers in that streak.
He will foul that one back, going for the long ball. All right, PNC inside the numbers.
About 50+ doubles and 40 or more home runs since 2015. Ortiz, of course, leading the way this year, first in doubles, third with 15 home runs. Machado on that list as well. 51 doubles, 48 homers. Machado second in the American League with doubles.
Towering pop up down the line, headed foul. That's going to go into the seats. Boy, did that have some hang time on it. Ortiz leads the majors in slugging, OPS, extra base hits, RBI, tied for the lead with 48. That's in the majors. 2-2 delivery. That'll go into the shift. Jonathan Schoop is right there. Great sign for Jimenez early. Said 4 batters and 3 ground ball outs.
Yeah, I like that. Keeping the sinker down, breaking balls down in the zone. Very important. Looks like he's very relaxed and under control right now.
That'll bring up Hanley Ramirez. The Orioles trying to even up this 4-game set on the year. Series is tied at 3-3. These teams are going to see one another again very shortly, as the Orioles are going to be going to Boston to play 14, 15, and 16. So after not having seen teams in the East, Farrell and Showalter will have their ball clubs tangled pretty quickly here, both here and in Boston. Strike taken by Ramirez. He's only had 10 hits in his last 51 at bats. That's a 196 average. He has not had an extra base hit in 14 games. He's now gone 53 at bats, no extra base hits. And they have a big bat in the lineup. Hard to believe with all the runs they're scoring and extra base hits they're getting, and he's not part of it.
I agree. Seems like there's always one guy though that's left out of all the fun.
1 ball, 1 strike count. He'll go upstairs trying to hit one. The helmet comes flying away. 1-2.
Ubaldo Jimenez this season, 96 ground balls, only the 38 fly balls. Very good ratio, 2.5. Unfortunately, the walks have hurt Ubaldo. His walk rate up over 5 right now this season. His career walk rate about 4.11. So way up with lack of command.
And the pitch is going to be down low, and 2 ball 2 strike count on Ramirez. These two teams battling for the top spot in the American League East. Boston has gone 13-12 against Eastern Division opponents so far. The Orioles are 10-7. The Orioles came into this series having the fewest number of games against the division of any of the Eastern teams. That'll be another ground ball to third. Flaherty on the running scoop makes the throw. He's got it. That's a good defensive play.
Yeah, Ryan Flaherty, some nice defense in last night's ball game. Get the chopper. Great pitch from Ubaldo. The fastball on the outside corner. Ramirez has to reach for it. Little topper. Ryan Flaherty. Take a look at the concentration. How about the glove and using the legs? Glove open. Good transfer, but he knows he has a little time. Takes the extra step. And the firm feed over to Davis for the second out.
And then goes over to shallow right field. As the shift is put on with Travis Shaw coming up. Shaw's only 3 for 13 in this series. Still a solid .295. It's just that those numbers are not coming against the Orioles. He is 6 for 45 in his career against the Orioles and a .167 average in this ballpark. 0-1 delivery and another ground ball. That'll be played by Davis. Ubaldo gets over there to cover and gets the out. He's retired the first 6 that he's faced and done so with relative ease. Trumbo to the plate. Davies from Arbutus has won $500 for being selected. $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's Scratch House, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Schutz League crowd on hand here tonight. We did look up Arbutus and found it. We're on the map. Had not been there. Have a good place for breakfast. I'm going.
Or an ice cream shop.
I was just going to say that. If there's a good ice cream shop, I'm going to visit Arbutus. Here's Trumbo. Marcelo's delivery to him will be outside for a ball. Trumbo's had only 1 hit in the series. He is 4 for 16 lifetime off Porcello. 27-year-old right-hander who made his mark early in the major leagues. 1-0 pitch on the way. Trumbo will lash that one foul. Alvarez and then Scope coming up.
Although Rick Porcello's opponent average by situation this season, bases empty. A good number at 238. Runners on 222. Very low. Runners in scoring position. Jumps up a little bit. But he always has the ability to roll that double play ground ball over. Very good with the sinker.
1-1 delivery and had him chasing on that one. Mark was not looking for that pitch and went after 1-2 on Trumbo. Trumbo making his 26th start in right field as Mark goes back and forth from the DH role and his position in right, which he is playing extremely well. 1-2. Porcello with a quick over the head windup. Off the fist to third. That is a fair ball. Tough play. Shaw. Strong arm. Got him. Not an easy play. Starting tomorrow, the Orioles host the division rival the Yankees in a 3-game weekend set. Tickets still on sale. You can pick them up, but they're going fast. And don't forget to bring any non-perishable food item or cash to benefit the Maryland Food Bank. It's the 30th annual Orioles Reach Food and Funds Drive presented by Masson and WJZ for the Yankee series. There you see the times. Yankees are playing a makeup game in Detroit tonight. Very strange. They flew in from Toronto to Detroit and they're playing at 7:40. Detroit does not play 7:40 games. I don't know. I have to ask them when they get here tomorrow what that was all about. The Tigers were coming back from the West Coast, so I thought maybe they wanted a later start for that reason, but yeah. I don't know. So the Yankees are there for one game tonight. Here is Pedro Alvarez, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Alvarez DH again tonight, trying to pick the pace up. 3 hits here in the series and the opportunities that he has had, but he's got to get the numbers up to get the at-bats here in the month of June. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll go to short. Quick hopper. Bogaerts.
Well, Alvarez has been swinging the ball, bat very well. 3 hits in last night's ball game. Squares that one up. Great at Bogaerts.
It'll bring up Jonathan Scope.
Jonathan Scope, 21 of his 30 RBI this year at home. And he had the big ones last night. Just want to knock up the middle there to score Joey Rickard.
We'll pass along a couple of notes from last night. It was such an amazing ball game, and it added to the numbers in this series. Jonathan Scope will go after it. That one got a piece of Vasquez on the bare hand. This has not been a good series for the catchers. It has been very tough back there.
And Vasquez, interesting setup back there as well. Just kind of down on a knee. See the hand resting on the right thigh and squares it up.
Why would he do that? You always keep that bare hand behind your thigh, right?
That's what they're taught.
He has it. Now there he goes. That time he put it back there. The Orioles have had 100 at-bats through the first 3 ball games and 17 runs and no home run, which is just unbelievable based on what the Orioles have done all season. They are now 6-12 in ball games without a homer. That ball game last night, the 6th time the Orioles have been able to win a game without a home run. And on the other side, the Oriole pitchers have given up 12 homers in the series, 22 home runs in the last 7 games, and 32 home runs over the last 15 games.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, gotten a little funk for sure.
1-2 delivery on the way, and yet a victory here, and they're 2-2 in the 4-game set against Boston.
Yeah, well, the Orioles have been playing some great baseball. You know, to be in this position, obviously in June, 2nd place. Red Sox have just been playing out of this world. Their offense is of historic proportion right now. They hit 50. They've hit 51 home runs since May 1st. So
yeah, they're ahead of the world in almost every offensive category, and the Orioles have been right there with them as far as the long ball and runs are concerned. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. That got him. Jonathan Scope. That is the 7th hit batter by Porcello this year.
Well, two-seamer riding it in on the hands, and you see Vasquez setting up down in there, and he lets that one go. And I think right when he releases it, you see the frustration on his face. It just takes off, catching Jonathan up in the rib area.
So Schoop gets on the hard way. Ryan Flaherty hitting 8th, Pena batting 9th. Flaherty 3-game hit streak. Ground ball again. The shift was on. Bogarts quickly to Pedroia, who had a long way to go to get there. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base, and 1 black and blue for Jonathan Schoop. Mark Turgeon coming. He's the head coach, of course, of the Terrapins men's team. Sweet 16 this past season, 5th year he's been there. And there is Brenda Fries, 14 years, NCAA championship for her in 06. Last couple of years, Big Ten Conference season tournament champions. Some of their players joined them as well. They both delivered the first pitch for Maryland. Fear the Turtles. Pitch is taken. Inside, Swihart switch hitter. 1 for 3 off Jimenez, that being a home run. He's had a 3 for 12 in the series. 1-0 delivery in the air to center. Adam Jones meandering back. Told you last night that long game, almost 4 hours, an incredible number of pitches thrown. There you see the combined numbers, single games this season.
Yeah, unbelievable amount. Back on 24th at Houston, 422 pitches in 13 innings. Of course, yesterday 372, 365 in 10 innings, 342, 339. But last night, a 9-inning game. Unbelievable. Both sides just having problems commanding the baseball. Of course, the offenses, you make a mistake, both teams whacking it all over the yard.
Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers on that one. Pitch is taken for a strike. Here's Young. Great job being done by the veteran Chris Young, with Jackie Bradley Jr. away with his wife in Boston, birth of their daughter. Pitch will be taken outside. He's gone 4 hits, a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs in this series, and he's had a lot of at bats against Jimenez. Down to third and foul. He is 7 for 43 against Ubaldo. By far the most at bats of anyone in the lineup. He and Dustin Pedroia put up some pretty good numbers against him. Young, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Vasquez, the number 9 hitter, waiting on deck. That ball up in the air off the end of the bat. Manny will just stay in place and puts it away. That was hit right to him. 2 down. On Tuesday, the Birds will take on the Royals. 7:05 first 20,000 15 and over. Get the Orioles golf umbrella presented by Visit Sarasota County. Hope you'll be on hand to get it and enjoy the ball game. You can get tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. That's the Royals Tuesday umbrella.
hopefully we don't need them.
Exactly. Ever again this year.
Right.
Had our share of drip drops in April. Vasquez will take it away for a ball. 0 for 3. He and Hannigan have been in and out behind the plate here in this series. And then is trying to go through the lineup. Retiring the first 9 if he can get Vasquez. Pitch will be down low and a 2-0 count.
Well, it doesn't look like a pitcher living on the edge right now.
Sure doesn't.
It's very relaxed.
2-0 delivery on the way, and that will be low as well. Count will go to 3-0. As the Orioles, of course, you got all the walks last night, 9 of them. That's a lot of walks in one game. 3-0 pitch. Will he take? He does, and it's outside. So 8 in a row retired, and then the walk to Vasquez to turn the order over.
Well, and this is the kind of stuff that happens to Ubaldo at times. He just loses it. Last year, they made an adjustment, not taking the glove over the head. You see that lead elbow hitting the front quad. In his last bullpen session, Ramon Martinez was working with him about trying to clear that elbow down to the inside, eliminate some of the things that can cause, the problems with the delivery.
Mookie Betts, Orioles finally got him in the first at bat as he grounded out on a fine play by Manny Machado to get him at first base. 2 down, runner on at first. No score here in the 3rd inning. And Betts backed away. That's the movement that ball had. It came back in. It was clearly a strike.
So, I mean, we've talked about Ubaldo for a couple years now, and he's got great movement on his pitches. And that slider backs up and missed his spot, but
got him on that one. Went up and in. That's his first strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd. Have scored just 166 runs. They're tied with the Braves for the fewest runs scored this season. They're 6.5 out in the National League East. Padres executive chairman Ron Fowler called the team miserable failures on Wednesday. Wednesday night, the Padres got 14 runs on 19 hits. It's not going to help a lot, though. The Padres are 11.5 out. Charlie Blackmon of Colorado named to remember a 10-game hit streak. Look at the numbers during the streak. And he's been on base 27 consecutive games for a Colorado team that's had a roller coaster start.
Miserable failures.
Miserable failures from your chairman of the board.
Wow. We were just in Cleveland, and I heard that about the Cleveland football team.
The Browns?
Some of the the Browns, talking about how bad their football team was and how the stadium produced miserable failures.
Up in the air at the end of the bat, Francisco Pena. That may fall in. Nope. Good play made by Swihart. So Pena getting his first at bat for the Orioles. which went up in the air to left, and the catcher's retired, one away. The other thing in Cleveland, I mean, now they got the NBA Finals going to go on there with Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're not drawing anybody at the ballpark. I saw some numbers today. It was in the Cleveland paper, in fact, that they're wondering what's going on. They've played some pretty good baseball.
Yeah.
They're vying for first in the division. Nobody's coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been tough there for a while. You know, it seemed like when they built Progressive Field, it was selling out every night.
Yeah.
For about 10 years, and then the team started losing, and the economy, everything else.
Here's Adam Jones. He'll take the pitch inside. Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. So Porcello has gone through the lineup, surrendered only one hit. Kim's base hit in the first inning. 1-0 delivery. Could there be a greater variance in the first 3 innings of a ball game than what happened last night and what's happening tonight?
No. I mean, this is amazing. Well, I think last night was more amazing.
Red Sox had 7 runs in 3 innings. Orioles had 8.
They might be arm weary.
Yes, they might.
Too much swinging last night.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery by Porcello. He jammed him enough to get the ground ball to Pedroia. 2 down. Father's Day weekend here at the Yard. You're going to have some great Birdland memories. The Orioles will have the Blue Jays in town Friday, June 17. Fireworks night presented by BGE. Saturday, first 10,000 men 18 and over. The O's barbecue tool set presented by BGE, to which most men will go. What the heck's that for? And then I want to remind you, the series ends Sunday. 10,000 men get the Father's Day Newsboy cap, and the kids run the bases on Sunday as well. All coming up Father's Day weekend. Orioles.com for tickets.
It's like a fun cap right there.
Hey,
like the Newsboy cap, Gary.
It'll go with the shirt. It will go with the shirt. We will see folks wearing our favorite shirt, the Orioles Hawaiian shirt, and that cap. It will be a fashion statement. We won't quote that statement, but it will be one. 0-2 count on Kim. 2 down, nobody on. Base hit the other way in the first inning.
Well, you saw another offering there from Porcello that shows why he's having the success on the left. He's cutting the fastball in on the hands.
0-2. He doesn't walk anybody. He's not walked more than 2 in his last 14 starts. That's going back to September of last year. This is his 11th start this year. Team is 7-3. A 9-iron shot to center. Young is there, and he's got it. That's some of the power that Kim has. Orioles are retired, though. 1, 2, 3. Summer, oh yes, it is here. Sausage, onions, cap, shirts. Unbelievable. Brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Pitchers dominating here in this one as we go to the 4th inning. Boston with 0s on the board, 1 walk to Vasquez, their only base runner. while the Orioles have a single from Kim and one hit batter. They're 2 base runners. Jimenez, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Pedroia grounded out his first time up. Will take the pitch inside. I wonder how many at bats Dustin figures he's going to go, and I know he has an answer to it. I'm taking the first pitch, and then right when they think I never swing at a first pitch, I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah, he sets them up. I mean, the veteran players try to do that. They do that within a series.
Yeah.
You know, they might even take a couple series off swinging early.
Great pitch. Jimenez really keeping the ball down so far in this game.
And that's the most important thing, keeping it down, and he's been proving that he can throw all his offerings for strikes. I mean, everything's really around the plate. Had that 1-4 pitch walk to Vasquez, but other than that, looked really good.
1-2 the other way. Pedroia ranked 9th in the American League in average at .316 coming in, and as we showed you at the top, he's hit safely against the Orioles in 14, and he's reached base against the Orioles in each of the last 19 games. 1-2 delivery by Jimenez, and that one will bounce. Pedroia works the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez coming in tied for 6th most runs given in the American League by a starter. Tied for 4th in runs, tied for 6th in hits surrendered. 2-2 delivery on the way. Just missed a little bit outside, and he had Pedroia looking in. 3-2.
I like that movement though from Ubaldo. Trying to get it to pull back on that outside corner, the little 2-seamer, so he can get Pedroia to expand a little bit.
Full count, fouled away on the 7th pitch of the at bat. Pedroia will hold it. 3-2.
I like the little sequence right there. So you try to bring a 2-seamer back. Started in that left-handed hitter's batter's box, and then go right back on the outside corner, but with a slider this time. So it's not coming back to Pedroia. It's pushing away. Really good pitch.
3-2 delivery again, and got him. Pedroia was headed to first base. No. 2 strikeouts in a row for Ubaldo.
Staying out there. Nice job by Pena. Setting up on the outside corner when Ubaldo decided to stay out there. He was consistent. Look at the movement there. Pena receiving it well. Ubaldo getting the call. Good pitch.
Jeff Nelson, the crew chief. Experienced umpire who has tended to favor the pitchers fairly significantly. So when you go up there, you better be ready to swing the bat. Bogaerts lined out his first time up. Pedroia out of there. Bogaerts trying to extend his hit streak. It's now at a major league leading 25. Not on these pitches by Jimenez though. 0-2.
Another good one. Down in the zone, working away from Bogaerts. I was going to say, so when he has all this movement, really something that's helped Ubaldo throughout his career, just the
got him.
Just that delivery in and of itself. There's deception there. Spikes the arm way back, arms and legs flying all over the place. And then when he starts being more aggressive in the strike zone, you get these type of swings. That's a great split finger dive bombing down and in for Bogaerts. Beautiful pitch there. Tough to get Bogaerts to check swing nowadays.
The anomaly on the mound, trying to define him from game to game is almost impossible.
Yeah, you can't.
Here's David Ortiz, and he'll take the pitch at 90. Ortiz, ground ball out, is first time up. Ortiz now 266 lifetime off the Orioles, 50 long balls against the O's. Started around, pitch will be inside. Ortiz taking it, a 2-0 count. Orioles put the full shift on. Trumbo and Wright's almost back on the warning track in that power alley. 2-0 delivery. Came back on him, out in front, 2-1.
Yeah, change up. Beautiful pitch. You get into that hitter's count. You have command of your secondary pitches. You get strikes like that to get back in the count. Beautiful pitch.
2-1 delivery on the way, and a towering fly ball to right field. Trumbo is deep. Is he deep enough? Has room. Comes back in and puts it away. Side retired in order. 3 of the 4 innings. Ubaldo Jimenez has set him down 1-2-3. Minor league report, PNC for the achiever in you.
Well, Baldo on his way back, getting into this rotation. A rehab start tonight in Frederick. 3 strong innings, touched 90 miles an hour. Give up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, couple walks, 4 strikeouts, but good to see him back on the bump. Feeling strong. Said he felt good in his rehab outing today. Now it's just a matter of getting the pitch count up. Make one more rehab start. A lot of it, I guess, depends on necessity here.
Yeah.
Major league level.
They said he felt good, had fastball up at 90.
Yeah.
And so we'll see where that goes. They'll wait and see how he feels tomorrow. Manny Machado will lead it off against Porcello. Bottom of the 4th inning, no score. Davis, Trumbo to follow. Machado flying out to center field. Porcello's breaking ball, a good one. Red Sox also made a move today. Their starter last night was sent down. It was a very good night for starters, was it? Mike Wright of the Orioles and Joe Kelly both got sent out after the game. They were the 2 starters in last night's ball game. 0-1 delivery, ripped to center. That's a base hit. Now Manny's on with a leadoff single. The Orioles get their first leadoff man on with their 2nd hit of the game.
Oh, this ball is covered by Manny Machado, knuckling out to Young in center field. The hanging slider. And he stays on top about as well as anybody. That is a flat bat through the zone. Very direct. And then long through it, spanking the clean single.
So Manny is on. Davis up, fielder's choice, his first time up. Shift on, double play depth. Chris now hitting $187. 10 home runs. And we'll take the pitch inside. For the Red Sox, sending out Joe Kelly to AAA Pawtucket. Noah Ramirez, who had been with the ball club earlier, comes back. A right-hander up from AAA. And Brock Holt was transferred from the 7-day concussion list to the 15-day DL today. 1-0 delivery. Chris taking that one. That 2 is going to miss. Maybe a little bit inside and up, and it'll go to 2-0 from Porcello.
Yeah, we've really seen pitchers aggressive there, up and in with the fastball to Chris Davis. About a week he was trying to get to that pitch. Now wisely laying off. You mentioned the 4 walks in last night's ball game. Chris can discipline that strike zone. Be dangerous hitter again. Right now in a little bit of a funk, trying to get back in there into the groove.
2-0. Porcello's delivery chopped to shortstop. That's 1 relay. Nope, not going to have any there. Now they're going to argue about the slide. Corey Blazer, second base umpire. John Farrell's coming out under the new rule. Was that a slide to the base or a slide to the player?
Well, now anytime there's something different, if a guy just doesn't slide and stop in front of the base, it's looked at as something that you're trying to hurt the player. Nice play by Shaw. You can see Manny sliding in.
Ooh, that's pretty close.
Well,
that's almost a roll block.
The fact that he wasn't able to keep that hand on the base is a question. He slid right over the top, and you have to be able to reach the base.
So the umpires will confer. Jeff Nelson is the crew chief, who is the home plate umpire.
And I think each game, you know, umpiring crews are going to get different feels. They're going to see different slides. Players are going to try to, you know, bend the rules, see how far they can take it.
It's got to be a bona fide slide. Initiates or attempts to make contact with the fielder for purpose of breaking up a double play should be called out for interference. Bona fide slide. Begin the slide before reaching the base. Able to or attempting to reach the base, hand or foot. Able to or attempt to remain on the base after completion of the slide, and slide within reach of the base without changing your pathway.
Well, he tried to remain on the base. He just slid over the top.
Well, the decision will be told to John Farrell. Corey Blazer, the umpire at second base. He's reaching out with his hand, trying to get to the base. Did he start the slide before he got to the far enough in advance of the bag?
I think the slider was good.
So they're going to go to New York on this one and see whether or not there was a violation on the new slide rule.
I think off the bat, Manny started his way to second base a little bit deeper, almost like he was going to take a turn, so he stayed in that lane.
See, I'd call that interference.
Well,
I don't think anything is, Manny. But that's how reading the rule. You see it, no. I see it, yes.
Well,
I think he had to go. I think he got to go straight into the bag first, and I don't think he did.
Absolutely. Well, if you read the rule word for word, yeah, probably. But
what are we going to do? Wear dresses next? Oh, sorry, Gibby. I'm sorry. That was John Gibbons. That was his comment on the new slide rule at second base.
Yeah, they're still trying to find the right slide. Now, Manny didn't lift his leg up. He didn't try to break up the double play. He may have tried to disrupt it, but this was not a takeout slide per se. I mean, not an old school takeout slide where you're up a little higher with your leg and you try to kick the foot out and flip the guy at second base. He basically slid, but the momentum taking him past the base might be what John Farrell's arguing about. Bogart's out at short.
So we'll see. That was Shaw, the third baseman, who made the play over there, and then Bogart's the only one on that side coming over to cover. And while all this is going on, of course, Porcello is out there taking some warm-up tosses. See what we got. Out. So the out at second base, and the rule is he did not violate the slide rule, so they just go with the play as it was.
Well, there you go then. I mean, I think in a way that kind of sets a precedent.
Yep.
Right? Because it did like he was going at Bogarts.
Yep.
But he was at the base. His feet weren't going to the base.
Yep. But
he was reaching the base, and he didn't try to spike him or kid flip him or anything.
So the challenge is lost by the Red Sox. They do not have any more challenges, and the play stands as it was called. And I think now Jeff Nelson will make sure Buck Showalter knows. Because it is a challenge play. It's not an umpire crew chief discretionary review. So one away, runner on at first base, fielder's choice. Davis reaches, and that'll bring up Trumbo, grounded out his first time up. See if the weight here affects Porcello in the at-bat to Trumbo. Double play depth with one away. I think Porcello will just get himself back into the game here by throwing over to first base.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely something I think as this season progresses, just the length of some of these replays, just taking the rhythm out of the ball game, rhythm away from a starting pitcher. It's tough.
A lot of standing around. Davis short lead over there. A little quicker throw. Ramirez has to go out to get it. These really do slow the game down, not just while we're waiting, but now you see Porcello just trying to get himself back into the game. And finally delivers a pitch. It'll be outside. Trumbo, the ground ball to third. His first time up. Mark trying to find the long ball again for the Orioles. 1-0 delivery. It'll be foul back. Interesting follow through by Porcello. He went all the way down into a catcher's squat after he delivered the pitch. I think he was a little concerned about where that pitch was going when he delivered it to Trumbo.
And coming back over, Vasquez setting up away, and that causes some problems for pitchers. The two-seamer that just works back over about 6 or 8 inches more than they were expecting.
Then he comes back up and in. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
You see Porcello's average on pitch type this season. The changeup just 184, curveball 167, fastball 259. Obviously the favorite pitch. Those are more than any other, but very good numbers. Even the slider 219 average against his offerings.
1-2. Chris Davis off first. He got one way back in left field, and goodbye, home run. Mark Trumbo delivers the long ball for the Orioles, and he didn't miss that one. Number 16 to time for the lead. That'll be RBIs numbers 40 and 41. Last home run May 27 against Cleveland. He gets his first in June.
Yeah, that was a big one there. Ball got small in a hurry for Trumbo, picking up his 16th. Big hit in last night's ball game. Bases loaded single the other way. Give the Orioles the lead in the first. This one gives them the 2-0 lead here in the fourth.
So the Orioles do get the long ball for the first time in this series. 1 down, base is empty. Alvarez goes after it, pops it up. And he'll be retired, second out.
Well, the changeup here after an up and in fastball. Porcello thinks he's going to speed him up, get him out in front. But Trumbo showing the great patience, letting it travel. Contact, it is gone. This is a bullet to deep left field.
Mark Trumbo breaks a streak of over 103 at-bats by the Orioles without a home run. Their third longest streak of the year without a homer. Ground ball off the fist by Jonathan Schoop, played by Shaw to first, stretched by Ramirez. Will get him. The importance of that challenge going in the Orioles' favor, highlighted by the home run by Trumbo. A 2-0 Orioles lead. West. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by University of Maryland University College. Harry Thorne, Mike Bordick, and Mark Trumbo. Trumbo now tied for second. Home run number 16. He and Robinson Cano have 16. Frazier's got 17, and that set them dancing here at the ballpark. And they haven't stopped yet. They may be going all night. Who knows? So Jimenez gets the lead. Ramirez up. Ramirez grounded out his first time up. Trumbo's 6th home run here at Camden Yards this year. Batting average, home and roads almost exactly the same. 10 home runs on the road, 6 at home. Jimenez has walked 1, struck out 3.
And Pena's got him working as well as we have seen this year.
Did he go? Check it first. Now, Buck Showalter said may make a difference having somebody else behind the plate just for a change of view.
Yeah, you want this fastball up at the top of the zone, and Baldo executes. Very close by Ramirez, but he holds up.
1-2 delivery on the way. Tell you one thing Francisco Pena is doing, and probably I'm sure talked about with Dave Wallace and the staff. He's getting the ball back to Jimenez in a hurry. I mean, he's almost forcing Jimenez, get it, throw it, get it, throw it.
Yeah.
Don't think too much.
Good point.
2-2 delivery will be taken down low. And the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. You can bet John Russell had a conversation with Pena again. Had a chance to see him in spring training, but John, who handles the catchers, the bench coach.
Yeah, well, you know, Francisco brought into camp this year. I think the Orioles' depth at the catching position is really solidified. Pena, of course, being one of those guys.
And there's the first hit. So leading off the 5th inning, Ramirez delivers a single. Only base runner prior to that had been the walk to Vasquez in the 3rd inning. And the leadoff man on. Red Sox with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. Shaw, then Swihart due up, shift on. Flaherty's going in the hole between 1st and 2nd. Making sure he knows who's got second base here. Because Manny Machado with Shaw up is over and in, over towards 3rd and in. So Flaherty's looking over there going, all right, who's going to cover second if I get a ground ball?
Yeah, right.
And that's what they're talking about if Shaw should bunt.
Well, they had this situation in last night's ball game when Manny pulled over and Jonathan Schoop was a pivot man for everybody on the infield. And as an infielder, the off infielder, you have got to give your pivot man just a split-second extra time. Maybe take an extra shuffle step.
In the air to right, Trumbo. It's called off. Jones came over and made the catch. Shaw retired. Now, the day after the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. The promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Today was one of those days. The Orioles got 13 runs last night. Now the alignment goes back onto the shift. Like Swihart. Swihart flied to center. His first time up. The other thing we haven't mentioned, Red Sox have been a running baseball team this year. Jimenez is a pitcher you run on. 11 out of 13 successful stolen bases against him. How do you prevent that? You don't let anybody on.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Ubaldo has done in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Pena, pretty good catch and throw catcher. Known more actually for his defense than his offensive ability, but he did have a couple pretty good years offensively in the minor leagues. A cup of coffee with Kansas City in 2014 and 2000.
Oh, he threw it away. That's going to go into the top. Ramirez will go to second, takes a look back. Davis retrieves. That'll be an error charged on Jimenez.
Boy, Orioles defensively, I mean, in general as a team, they've kind of hit a skid defensively, but the pitchers as well. And they've made a number of errors, not helping themselves at all.
So that takes away the potential ground ball double play. It's the first runner into scoring position for the Red Sox. And Swihart, a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Ground ball will hold the runner. Machado's up. Quick throw and had to be. Swihart is retired, 2 down.
Swihart, great speed down there, but Manny Machado, probably the best arm in the game today.
So Machado records the assist on the ground ball out. Runner at second, 2 down. Young coming up. The Red Sox are 7 for 26 in this series with runners in scoring position. There have been lots of them. Orioles 9 out of 31. Here is Chris Young. Young popped out his first time up. Dangerous long ball hitter. 5-game hit streak for him. Goes after the first pitch in the gap to right center. Trumbo says, I'm going to catch this one. And in fact, he does. No runs, 1 hit, an error, and a base runner left on. Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Mobile. Opening our notebook to our East Winds page. Yankees coming in. Mark Teixeira, 3 for his last 38. They're playing tonight in Detroit. See, Brett Gardner comes into that game 0 for 23 over 8. The Rays, they are losing 10 out of their last 12. As we mentioned, it's about their pitching staff. 5.74 ERA in those games, even though Evan Longoria has had a 9 for his last 19 over 5, and Logan Morrison hitting .426, 3 homers, 11 RBIs over the last 16. They've gotten some offense, but not the pitching.
I know. Pitching rules.
Flaherty up. Flaherty a fielder's choice his first time up. Flaherty is 5 for 10 with a home run off Porcello. That'll get you into a ball game.
Yeah, the only thing that can cover up inconsistent pitching.
Center, and that's going to be a base hit. Takes a hop. Young gets it. Flaherty's on. Well, the Orioles have a leadoff man on. Orioles proudly joined MLB honoring the fallen veterans. Memorial Day, the caps and jerseys worn, autographed and authenticated. You can bid on them at Orioles.com/auction. To benefit the Fort Meade Alliance Foundation, the bidding closes Monday at 10.
So a hot offense, and then really that's what's happened to the Red Sox. They have not had great pitching here at the start of this season. As a matter of fact, the Orioles pitchers have done better statistically up until this series, but it's the Red Sox offense. Over about 7-8 runs per game here recently.
Francisco Pena, the 26-year-old, first time behind the plate for the Orioles, 10th time in his major league career. His dad, of course, one of the great players behind the plate, Tony Pena. So he had certainly had someone to learn from when it came to the catching position. Pitch will be taken for a strike. Is Papa. We'll be carefully watching this game. 18-year career, almost 2,000 games, 260 average, 107 homers, 708 RBIs, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner. And he played Pittsburgh, Boston, St. Louis, Cleveland, and the White Sox. Tony, a coach now, in one of the snappiest arms catchers ever had. He would whip balls around at any base at any time if he thought he had a chance to get you.
Yeah, a couple things kind of separated Tony Pena. He had a unique catching style. Sometimes he'd get down on that one knee and actually do a split behind the plate to get as low as he could, but a cannon for an arm. It was unbelievable. I had the pleasure of playing against him the second half of his career when he came over to the American League, and he was one of those players that was already a legend. You know, and then to watch him play and the things he did, pretty impressive.
So his son will watch that one go by, and Porcello will get the strikeout. That's his second K of the game.
Well, Porcello has a two-seamer, much like Ubaldo. The ability to bring it back over the outside corner. Oh, nestling in nicely on the outer third.
One down. Flaherty remains on at first base. Adam Jones has struck out and grounded out. A fan on hand getting the view from center field. One away. Ramirez holding the runner. Grounded foul. Now tomorrow night we're going to examine this closer as we continue to provide the vital statistics necessary for the enjoyment of a major league game. Does Ryan Flaherty have the shortest lead on average of any player in Major League Baseball when he's on at first? Mark Trumbo is questioning that. Mark has said, for the good of the team, I want to know, is that lead over there the shortest? 0-1 fouled away. Mark believes that last year he may have had, see, he's telling him, get off the base, get off the base. Mark thinks he may have been in the top 3 for the largest average lead at first base last year.
Oh, really?
So we're checking on that. We're going to find that out. But Mark is all over Flash. Ryan Flaherty.
I love it.
So whether or not his leads are too short.
Some good ribbing.
That's a pretty good lead. Because Trumbo was claiming it was 6 inches. And see, that's what happens. That's what Mark's point is. You get a good lead, you're going to start drawing throws. He'll throw it away. Look at him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Flaherty inching off. Trumbo pushing him off every pitch. Vasquez a strong arm. Comes out of the gate. He sees the lead getting a little longer. Yeah, you want to put the pressure on the defense.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah.
Mark, look at him. He is loving this. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Oh, he got that one left field. It is back. It is at the wall. And goodbye, home run. No home runs for the Orioles in the first 3. They get their second 2-run homer in this one and have a 4-0 lead. Adam Jones.
He is slowly but surely starting to feel it at the plate. Beautiful swing there on the slow breaking ball. Picking up his 6th bomb of the year.
Teresa Davies, our Maryland Lottery contestant, so far pretty good night. $500 for every home run hit. There have been 2.
Orioles with a couple home runs in this ball game, and a different variety both. Trumbo's was a rocket. This a moon shot on the breaking ball, just dropping the head down and in, full extension. It had altitude and distance.
0-1 delivery off the end of the bat by Kim, and it'll be handled going away with the shift on. Shaw came back to get it. So the Orioles using the long ball, and you see on our Coons AL League leaderboard where that leaves them.
Yeah, extra indeed. Since 2012, the Red Sox and the Orioles lead the way in extra base hits. In this series, it has just been a barrage. Red Sox 18 extra base hits, of course, highlighted by Betts' 5 home runs and 12 Red Sox homers. With the Orioles as well, starting to heat up a little bit. 11 extra base hits now.
And here's Manny Machado. Brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Looking at our leaderboard. That is the first home run Adam Jones has had since May 14 against the Tigers. 3 weeks. 1-0 pitch. Machado will take it away. Porcello now has given up 10 home runs on the year. 2 hit in this game by right-handers. So 7 of the 10 against him, Trumbos and Jones, have been by right-handers. Here's the 2-0 delivery. That'll be in the inside corner. Manny's had a base hit, and he is flied out. Orioles came into the ball game tied for 4th in the American League in home runs, and have added 2. They've got 71 on the year. Slider's going to miss outside. 3-1.
Now they got on a nice little roll in April, and faded a little the last 2 weeks in May. a good start with a couple homers here in this ball game beginning of June.
3-1 delivery, rifle to right field. Deep enough was Betts, and he will put it away. The Orioles here in the 5th inning, they get a Flaherty leadoff single. He will score on the home run by Jones. 6th of the year, 4-0 Orioles. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event, up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. Trumbo's the man, and Jones right with him. 4 RBIs combined on home runs. And the pitch taken inside. Jimenez working on a one-hit shutout. Going into the 6th inning, Vasquez, Betts, and Pedroia. Red Sox, in 8 of the 10 starts Porcello has made, they have scored 3 or more runs. But Jimenez not letting that happen yet in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Inside corner strike.
He's pounding the strike zone right now with everything. And really everything around the plate.
1-2 delivery on the way for Jimenez. Last start, an inning and 2/3. Start before that, 5 2/3. Before that, 4 1/3 losses. Cleveland, Angels, Seattle. Different outing so far here. Pitch will be away. Count goes full, 3-2. 1 leadoff man on. Single, Ramirez in the 5th. Better than the numbers on the year. Jimenez retiring 64% of leadoff batters. 3-2 delivery down the line and fair. Wow. Right off the end of the bat. Trumbo over to get it in foul territory. Vasquez goes to second. He's got a leadoff double.
Pretty impressive piece of hitting right there. 3-2 count. Backing it up, slapping it down that right field line. Not a bad pitch either. You see it working down the line. Trumbo, a strong arm out in right field. Nice throw in last night's ball game, but not too far offline. Ubaldo on the first pitch strikes. 9 of 18, 50%. Porcello 13 of 21. Expected that number to be a little bit higher from Ubaldo.
Yep. He's come back on hitters. Discussion going on. Porcello, Carl Willis, pitching coach. Betts is grounded out, struck out. 1-0 delivered to him down low. Pena makes the nice stop. Betts hitting .333 with runners in scoring position on the year. Red Sox have stranded 2, only one of those at second base. That was in the 5th inning. They have not had a runner to third in the game. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss outside. Count will go to 3-0. The big change in numbers for Jimenez, those left-handers. Last year they hit 227. This year 344. An enormous jump. The number by right-handers is almost exactly the same at 289. Strike taken on the inside corner. Betts would take a walk, trying to just step out of the way, and hoped it was there, though. 3-1.
Well, so much of it comes from that two-seam fastball that Ubaldo features. If he can't command it or get the movement, it's going to be a cookie for a lot of lefties. Many times it's worked itself back over the plate. Getting whacked.
So the Red Sox get their second walk and their first real decent chance with 2 on, nobody out. And now you got the middle of the order coming up. Dustin Pedroia. He is grounded out and called out on strikes. Pedroia, RBI opportunity for him. 255 in these situations this year, as the Red Sox trying to mount a comeback. Then as delivery to him, it'll be there for a strike. Again, he just kind of turns away from that first pitch.
Like that. Ubaldo better stay on that outer third, or at least if he's going to come in hard.
Got that to right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Everybody's got to stop. Well, they've loaded him up. So Pedroia goes the other way, and the Red Sox have the bases loaded, nobody out, 6th inning.
Pedroia, clean base hit to right field. Those two seamers that stayed on the plate. Like Pena was heading up on the inside corner. Too much of the white there. Pedroia keeping a little Red Sox rally going.
Saw the phone call and the reception. So here is Bogaerts. He has not extended his 25-game hit streak yet. He has lined out and struck out. Xander Bogaerts. Givens will get up in the bullpen. Bogaerts will take it. It'll be down low for a ball. Bogaerts coming in after a .320 year last year. Collected 196 hits last season, and he's on top in that department again. Leads the majors, 77 hits. 1-0, lashes that one to left center field. That is back in the gap, way back, right off the top of the wall. These three runners are almost together. Two will score, one of the longest singles you'll ever see. Vasquez and Betts both score. Pedroia couldn't go very far because the two guys in front of him, he was almost going to pass them. And it is a 4-2 game. And Bogaerts has a 26-game hit streak.
Now Bogaerts has been ready to hit last month. He gets an elevated pitch, hammering off the wall, deep left center field. Fortunately for the Orioles, stays in there. Nice play by Adam Jones, and here is that two-seamer up, working. Oh, he went out, and got it. I mean, outer third, not bad, but the height, belt high, easier pitch for him to handle.
So Givens is not ready yet. Dave Wallace will go out to draw some time. That's a tough play for base runners, is it not? They weren't sure if that ball was going to get caught or not, and they were all three of them in a line. One was around third, and the other two were between second and third, waiting to see what was going to happen.
Right, and I'm sure Pedroia was on their heels saying, look, I can see it. Go, go, go. Yeah. But everybody bottled up right there. Somebody's got to hold their ground. Pedroia staying at third base.
So the Red Sox with Ortiz coming up. Make it a 4-2 game. First and third, nobody out. Ortiz has flied out, grounded out, and will take the pitch for a strike. Yet another area where he's been exceptional, hitting .378 with runners in scoring position. Good enough for 8th in the league. Pitch will be taken away.
We'll see Ubaldo's opponent average during situations like this. Runners in scoring position. Very healthy. 297. Everything up for Ubaldo this year. Come up with a big pitch.
Ortiz will take it away. And here it is yet again. Ubaldo did not give up a hit until the 5th inning. Ramirez got a single. Leadoff double by Vasquez. This inning was only the 2nd hit. That they've had 3 hits and a walk, Boston have in this inning. And the kind of things that have happened to Jimenez this year. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Looking for the ground ball. Ortiz hit into a big double play in last night's game. Not this time. In the air to right field. Way back and goodbye home run. A 3-run homer for David Ortiz. And the Red Sox have come from a 4-0 deficit to lead it 5-4.
Well, they are just not missing pitches on the white part of the plate. It took them a little while to get to Ubaldo. Ubaldo, nice mix up into this point. Having some trouble here in this inning. Couple long balls. A home run from Ortiz. A double from Bogaerts off the wall. The breaking ball hanging in the middle of the plate. Luke Poppy has been hot all season long.
His 3rd home run of the series. He now has 5 RBIs in this series. 16 home runs and 51 RBIs. And just like that, the 4-0 lead of the Orioles is gone as the Red Sox continue to thump out the homers in this series. Line shot to the middle. That's a base hit, and that's got to be it for Jimenez. But Showalter's out before they even get the ball back into the infield. So it has happened again to him. Ubaldo and Jimenez was cruising, getting batters out relatively easily. A lot of ground balls. And then here in the 6th inning, can't get anybody out. 6 up and 6 on. With Bogaerts a 2 RBI hit and Ortiz the 3 RBI homer.
Lineup got to him in the 5th. 5 earned runs here. Couldn't record an out, and he's going to give way to Michael Givens. Time for the Jiffy Lube pitching change, brought to you by Jiffy Lube, where participating stores now do brake service. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube inspect your brakes today. Well, Michael Givens now into the ball game. Here's a look at his pitch arsenal. The fastball 62% of the time. Good one in the mid-90s. Sweeping slider, occasional change. 3 wins, 2.35 earned run average for Givens.
Shaw is up, runner at first base, nobody out, as the Red Sox have battled back. See the inherited runners. 9 out of 16 stranded. He's got one on here with Ramirez at first, and the pitch will be there for a strike. It is truly phenomenal how quickly a game changes for him.
Yeah, it really does. And I think it's just a matter of waiting out mistakes. And Red Sox showed the patience. And once the hits started coming, boy, they didn't let up.
1-1 delivery on the way to Shaw. He'll pop that one back. and it will be out of play. Shaw's 0 for 2 lifetime against Givens. For Givens this season against the Red Sox, this will be game number 3. He's worked 3 innings, given up a run on 2 hits, walking 3, and striking out 6. 1-2 delivery on the way, and whatever he thought it was going to be, it wasn't. He was way behind on the timing for the strikeout.
Shaw some trouble here at Camden Yards. Here the live fastball riding up to the top of the zone. Tough pitch to get to if you are not perfect. Shaw missing, swinging through the high heater.
Blake Swihart coming up. Swihart has grounded out, flied out. Flaherty will play even with the bag at third because of the speed. We've seen Swihart run him. Runner goes. Throw down. Pena's right there. Perfect throw. Got him. Ooh. So Pena delivers with a big arm and gets the out.
Pretty strong throw right there. I think the experience in big league camp helped out. Obviously the tutelage, John Russell, Matt Wieters, Caleb Joseph, all throwing the ball exceptional. How about this strike? Right on the money. And he doesn't have to move the glove. Put it down in position A. Wait on the ball, and Ramirez.
And a base hit to center field by Swihart, so the caught stealing matters. Francisco Pena last year in the Pacific Coast League, he got 32.5% of base stealers, and that was third best in the Pacific Coast League. So he's got and he's got records before that, other seasons where he's shown the arm is there.
Well, he's always been a good defensive catcher. Seemed like every year in the minor leagues he would make the all-star team. They kept waiting on his bat, and it really wasn't until 2014 where it started to come around. Put up some impressive offensive numbers. Actually had 27 home runs in AAA in 2014, which earned him a quick call-up for an injured player. And then 2015, another opportunity. Not many chances, though. This is only his 10th game at the major league level.
Young is 0 for 2. Givens' pitch will be taken inside. The Red Sox have batted around here in the 6th inning. This is their 9th player to the plate. Red Sox have had 13 home runs in this series. Only the 4th time in their franchise history they have done that. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be fouled back into the screen. So Givens trying to end the inning right here. Get Young out of there. Swihart on at first base. Jimenez watching. He's the pitcher of record, and obviously a very disappointing 6th inning. 1-2 the count. Pretty good lead, Swihart. Pitch will be away. And the count goes to 2-2. Young has faced Givens only once. He is 0 for 1 against him. 4 hits, 9 at bats in the series, including 2 home runs. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And takes it, and that's going to miss away.
Nice try, nasty slider right there from Givens. A lot of success this year against the right-handed hitters. It's the lefties giving him a lot of trouble. Oh,
pretty close.
Yeah, beautiful pitch right there. That's where you want to put it.
So Young works at full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Swihart will be held. He'll be taking off. Like he thought Givens was going to step off, but he didn't. 3-2 runner goes, and he got him. So Michael Givens comes on and records the strikeout. But in this one, it's a big play to get that second out. 2 RBIs Bogaerts, 3-run homer Ortiz. Red Sox lead it by 1. Dylan Bundy, he'll be signing autographs, meeting fans at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria, 11 until noon. Browse the latest official gear at the store. Get the autograph from one of the bright young stars of the Orioles. That's going to be Tuesday, 11 a.m. to noon at the Orioles team store in the York Galleria. And don't forget to ask Dylan how he won the cow milking contest in Anaheim, because he did. He is the current champion.
Wow.
With assistance from a former champion, Darren O'Day.
Oh my.
Yep.
Those bullpen guys.
Well, they were all there. Tell you, this is a true story. We give very few of those, but this one happens to be. Chris Davis, that'll bounce away. After the cow milking contest, the PR director for the Angels, who has been there forever, Tim Meade, came up to me and he said the next day, you know what impressed me the most about that? He said, your entire bullpen was out there watching that event before the game. True.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. And the Angels didn't have anybody out there. Towering fly ball to right field. We can tell the rest of the story while the ball comes down. It will be handled by Betts. Davis is retired, and it was true. The Orioles had their entire bullpen crew out there cheering him on before the game in a cow milking contest. The Angels had their participant, but nobody out there from the ball club. And Meade noticed that, and he said, that's pretty impressive.
It really is. You know, obviously the bullpen, Darren O'Day, the bullpen captain for sure, but even the rotation. You know, when a guy goes out to throw a bullpen, the whole rotation goes out and watches him throw. It's a real close team. Something they established about 4 years ago here, being tight.
Yeah, it's great, and they enjoyed it. I mean, clearly they were having a really good time. They were cheering them on and hollering instructions.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff.
Here's Mark Trumbo speaking of good stuff. His 16th home run came in the 4th inning. 2 RBI shot, 1 for 2 in the game. Has he got another one? Yes, he does. Way back and goodbye, home run. Another rumble by Trumbo. He's got 2 in the ball game, and the Orioles come back and tie it up at 5. Tied for the lead in the American League in homers.
That was an impressive blast there from Trumbo. Right center field. I thought he was going to hit his face on the Jumbotron. That was a bomb.
Another $500. Teresa Davies, it's your night. Our Maryland Lottery contestant. 3 home runs in the game, 500 for each, and 500 for being selected. Here's Alvarez. He'll take it for a strike.
Check this swing out. 2-seamer coming back over. Center cut. There's the hands in. Man, when that ball hits the Trumbo bat head, everybody knows.
0-1 delivery. Alvarez will take that one on the inside corner. And there's Mark exploding in this one. He'd gone 1 for 10 in the first 3 games of this series. Now he's got 2 home runs and 3 RBIs here in game 4. 0-2 delivery. First time this season that Rick Porcello has had 3 homers against him in a game. And their bullpen now active. And the Orioles back to tie the ball game up. Pedro Alvarez will take it. It'll be inside. 1 down, nobody on. 3 homer game, 2 by Trumbo, 1 by Adam Jones. Accounting for 5 RBIs. All the runs right back to where the Orioles have been most of the year. Over 50% of their runs coming off homers. Chased one down. Good pitch by Porcello.
Nice changeup right there after brushing him back. Trying to get that inside corner with a 2-seam fastball. Missing by an inch or 2. The change. Speed him up inside. Soften him down and away. Gets him out front. Let's try to go down and get it. Good late movement on the fading change.
Only the second time Porcello's given up 5 home runs. Or 5 runs rather in his 11 starts. The other one against Kansas City, and that was the high for the year so far. Jonathan Schoop hit by a pitch, and he is grounded out. 2 down, nobody on. Porcello's delivery. Jonathan will take the pitch outside and gets ahead on the count 2-0.
How about Trumbo? First home run came off the bat, 115 miles an hour. Next one, 112 miles an hour. Add them up, the distance, about 1,000 feet between both homers.
2-0 is fouled back. Well, that's the bat they hoped they were acquiring when they got him, another power bat in this lineup, and he certainly has been that.
Yeah, he's been impressive.
Trumbo has in his career now 7 home runs against Boston and a batting average of 200. But he's made it count. John Farrell on the phone with the bullpen. Fouled off. Both of these teams came in with each of their bullpens having been extensively used in previous series. And both managers were concerned about availability of guys in the bullpen. But Showalter said today he has 4, maybe 5 pitchers he won't use.
Wow.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that ground ball is going to go to short. Bogarts over to Ramirez. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Mark Trumbo delivering his 17th home run of the season. His 2nd of the night has tied it up. Left knew it. Watch his reaction. He never moved. He never turned around. He immediately knew.
Yeah, well, I think it's a combination of knowing that that ball was just destroyed and frustration of the fact that, you know, the Orioles just put up, or the Red Sox, 5 runs, and once again the Orioles answered back to tie it up, just like yesterday's ball game.
Great shot. So we go to the 7th inning. There's Dunsing, and the reason he's here, we were talking about how the bullpen has been so extensively used. So Dunsing, the veteran, in the pen, brought up today. 0-1, swing and a miss, and available tonight out of the pen, and looks like he may get a chance to be in this game. Givens came on, got the final 2 outs in the 6th inning. Christian Vasquez started off that 6th inning with a double and would score. He's not going to do that here. 1 down.
Boy. There's some deception. Vasquez proving it there on that swing, coming from the sidearm slot. Ooh, 96 up and away. Half-hearted swing there, trying to put it in play. No chance.
Here is Betts at the top of the order. After all those home runs, 5 of them in this series. He's had a walk, a run scored, a struck out, a grounded out. That ball will be hit to right field. Trumbo going back. He's got a couple of quick outs here in the 7th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. The young fans on hand enjoying this one. Had been a And Orioles break out a couple of runs in the fourth and in the fifth. 4-0 lead. Red Sox got 5 in the sixth. Orioles answered to tie it up, and here we are in the seventh. Dustin Pedroia, base hit and a run scored, 1 for 3. He is 8 for 19 in this series. Trying to give the Red Sox a lead on that swing. Fouled it away.
Yeah, walking away on the first pitch. Fastball well off the plate. As you said it, he just kind of sets up pitchers. That slider inside corner, and he steps in the bucket.
Robbie Ross in the bullpen. 1-1 delivery on the way. Slow roller. Givens up. Makes the throw. No chance. Davis, good play to go over and get it. Pedroia will get the infield single with 2 away here in the 7th inning. That will give a chance to Bogaerts. Well, caption this. Check out @Masson Orioles on Instagram. Provide your best caption for the photo. 3 commenters will win autographed memorabilia. Watch every O's game. The Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Hang local. 26-game hit streak continued in the 6th inning with a 2 RBI single. 1 for 3 for Xander Bogaerts. Pedroia at first base. 2 down. And the pitch inside for a ball. Bogaerts at 26. Daniel Murphy with 11 for Washington on a hit streak mark. DJ LeMahieu of Colorado also at 11. The second longest streaks. In the air. Second base or short. Manny Machado wants it and will put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time and a tie game.
Final game of a 4-game set. Orioles looking to get back in it. Here, a mistake. All in. Mark Trumbo's power zone. The Red do not get it in the red. See the hanging breaking ball. It gets in the danger zone. Adam Jones's power zone. He makes them pay. And here it is again. Second pitch ending up in the heart of the red zone, and Trumbo makes them pay. 2 bombs from Trumbo. Another from Adam Jones. 3 in this ball game. 13 though for the Red Sox. Orioles trying to catch up. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Now Robbie Ross into the ball game. Pretty good arm. Live fastball, short arming it. 2.33 earned run average in his 15 games this year. And lefties, no chance. Opponents hitting 194 overall. Lefties under 100.
And Flaherty will start it out against Ross, and the pitch will be taken for a ball. Ross in his 3rd game against the Orioles this year. They've touched him up for 3 runs and 5 hits in 3 innings this season out of the bullpen. 1-0 delivery. Flaherty will take that one. Porcello out of there. He'll be indeed in this game.
You see his pitching line here, 6 innings. The Orioles tagging him for 5 earned runs, no walks. They did get the 3 long balls.
2-0 delivery by Ross. Just missed with that one, probably a little bit inside. And then Junichi Tozawa up in the Red Sox bullpen. 3-0 count. Flaherty, see if he just takes here against the left-hander. He does. It'll be on the inside corner for a strike. Flaherty 1 for 1 against Ross, followed by Pena. Then the top of the order, Adam Jones. Francisco Pena. 3-1 pitch. Flaherty held up. Yep, he gets the walk. Just what the doctor ordered for the Orioles. A leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. That's the first walk they picked up. They had 9 last night. They've got 1 tonight. Porcello, per usual, did not walk anybody. Ross walks the first man he faces.
Try to make that walk pay here. See if Pena can handle the bat. I'm sure Buck Showalter try to do something. Make him feel good offensively, whether it be a bunt or a hit and run. Now is the time.
And the pitch will be way up high, and that's going to send Vasquez out to the mound here to have a little meeting. And there's Ross a little bit all over the place coming out of the bullpen. Pena, 26 years old, 24 games at Norfolk, hit 200. He had 2 doubles, a triple, 6 RBIs. He had hit safely in 5 of the last 6 with the Tides before being called up. 808 career minor league games, 237 average. Down to the hole, he's got a base hit. Flaherty will stop at second base. So in his first appearance for the Orioles, 3rd at bat, he's got himself a single.
Well, you like to see that. Hammering one through the 5-6 hole right there. Jumping on the elevated pitch. After first pitch ball. Good hit and count there.
So now in a 5-5 game 7th inning, the Orioles get a chance to go back on top. And Adam Jones coming up.
You see birds on the pond. Most runners scoring position opportunities this season. Of course, yesterday's ball game, 23 plate appearances. There were 6 for 18. Some opportunities again tonight.
Trainer's on his way out with the manager. It was Vasquez who wanted someone to come out to talk to Ross. And Ross is kind of looking like, what are you doing out here?
Did you see him ask him what was wrong? And he said, nothing.
Nothing. I'm
what
fine.
Are you doing out here?
I'm perfectly fine. But I can't throw strikes, so I'm injured. Well, after what we just showed you with all those at-bats, the Orioles had 18 opportunities last night with a runner in scoring position. This is their first such chance tonight. Adam Jones gets it with Flaherty on at second base and Pena on at first. Adams delivered a home run, his 6th. 2-run shot, 5th inning. 1 for 3 in the game. And a perfectly placed pitch down and in that time by a lefty against the righty.
Yeah, firm cutter driving towards Adam Jones' back foot. Great late movement.
Adam is 0 for 4 off Ross. Hitting .195 against left-handers this year. Adam Jones. 0-1, tried to go to the same place, held up and it missed. And a 1-ball 1-strike count. Adam continuing to produce in that leadoff spot. Now he's had 9 hits, 27 at bats since he moved into the leadoff spot for the Orioles. 1-ball 1-strike count. Pedroia holding the runner at second. Jones had one right there he wanted, fouls it back.
Trying to get that ball in under the hands of Adam Jones. A mistake right there. That just missed up and out over.
And Vasquez goes out. Says Robbie, don't do that again, all right? don't do that.
Wait, are you
okay? You okay? He jumped out in a hurry after Jones fouled that last pitch back. 1-2 delivery on the way, up and in at 93. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Game is tied at 5 as the Orioles saw a 4-0 lead go away. Red Sox had it 5-4. That ball broken bat left field. Bogaerts gets back there and hauls it in, and he's going to get just one. He could not get enough on the throw to second base as he had a chance. Flaherty had gone halfway down in case that dropped in, and Bogaerts went for 2, not quite.
Nice play there by Bogaerts. Flaherty trying to get the good read. Maybe if it catches some grass, might have a chance to score there, but Bogaerts flagging it down, and look at the quick recognition. Eyes in back of his head. A quick snap throw behind him, almost getting Flaherty at second.
John Farrell holding up play while his video people take a look on the play at second base. Certainly looked like they were okay, and there'll be no challenge. He doesn't have one anyway. He'd have to go out and ask for the crew chief to do one of those discretionary reviews.
Yeah, they might. It just seems like
it's automatic.
They always do.
Yeah.
And the argument being, well, it's a close ball game now. This out's important at the end of the game.
Don't get me started. Young-Soo Kim. The other thing I think we set a record for in this series is the number of visits by the catcher to the mound for the Red Sox. Hannigan must have gone out every other pitch. And I don't mean that negatively, whatever the reason, but there's just been a lot of back and forth.
Too much.
Unbelievable number of visits.
You know, I think Buck kind of alluded to that. It might be just part of their philosophy.
Yep.
And not necessarily to make sure the pitcher and catcher are on the same page, just as stall tactics to upset the opposing team.
0-1 count. Flaherty on at second. Pena at first base, only one away. Infield double play depth. Robbie Ross delivers, set up away, and that's where the pitch was.
Well, Kim picked up a beautiful base hit in his first at bat, slapping a single the other way. Expect him to be gearing his energy that way off Ross as well. You have to keep the front side in, hold the hands in tight. Firm fastball, but a natural cut life. They'll probably end up in the outer third to Kim.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Outfield shaded to left a bit. Kim will take it. It is there for a strike at the knees. He didn't think so. Turns away, but says nothing.
Pretty nasty pitch, especially on the lefty. That's why number's so good. He starts on the first base side of the rubber, really aiming at that front knee of Kim, and fastball cutting back across the plate.
And now timeout asked for at the plate by Vasquez. As Ross wanted the signs again. Goes through him twice. 1-2 delivery on the way. A little sweeping breaking ball is going to miss outside. So Ross against the lefties, inside outside work here, trying to come in, back you off the plate a little bit, then catch that outside corner. 2-2. Lays that one into left field. Swihart, runners halfway, drifts over and gets it. Kim is retired, a 1 for 4, and there are 2 down, and we'll get a pitching change. And Manny Machado coming up. Farrell does not want his left-hander to be in there against Machado, but after the walk and single, Ross able to record a couple of outs. Manny hitting .318 against left-handers. Junichi Tazawa will come on to pitch. 2 down, tie game. All-Star Game ballot is here. You can go to Orioles.com/vote orange. Choose your favorite stars. Send them to the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. It's coming up July 12 in San Diego. You could win an autographed All-Star Game jersey and receive special ticket discounts. So it's Orioles.com/vote orange.
Tazawa now into the ball game. He has been a mainstay in the back end of this Red Sox bullpen for a few years now. Good fastball, 48%. Curve, slider, split finger as well. Pretty equal mix with all of his offerings. 22 games, 2.25 earned run average. Very effective, holding opponents down to just a 183 batting average. Righties just 214. Lefties not much better, just 138. The runner stranded 6 of 9, 67%.
So Yunichi Tazawa, runners on at first and second, will face Machado. Man, he's 3 for 4 off Tazawa. We'll see how that works. Flaherty and Pena, the base runners. Where Tazawa this year, game number 3 against the Orioles, no runs, 1 hit in an inning and 2/3 previously. This will be the 30th appearance he has had against the Orioles, and he's got a pretty good record. Tazawa's 3-1 against the O's with an ERA of 1.67. Robbie Ross responsible for the 2 runners on. Inning started with a walk to Flaherty, single by Pena. They are still there with 2 down. Machado goes after the first pitch. Manny a base hit and is flied out twice. Machado has picked up 4 hits in 16 at bats in this 4-game set. The Orioles trying to even it up at 2-2 with a victory here in the final game of the series, with the Yankees coming in tomorrow. And here we go again.
Well, Tazawa's got to get his quota in. Visits with the catcher. And just make
and
sure.
Buck, it drives Buck crazy. He was saying Ryan Hannigan, the catcher last night, looked a lot like Pudge Fisk, the dearly beloved Pudge. Pudge would take a long time going back and forth and slowing things down.
Well, nobody'd say anything to him. He
No,
was 6'7".
no, yeah. 0-1 delivery in the air to left field. Maybe they didn't wait long enough. Back in the wall. Hey, goodbye, home run! Manny Machado, a 3 RBI homer, and the Orioles lead at 8-5.
The Orioles offense just keeps coming. Starting to get into a nice little groove. Yesterday's ball game igniting this team. Nice at bat by Flaherty to lead the inning off with a walk. Pena picking up a base hit.
No home runs in the first 3, and they end up with 4 so far in this one, and they lead it 8-5. Davis. And here's our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Well, Manny Machado, 3-run shot, hanging split finger, backing up and into the wheelhouse. Clutch home run from Machado.
So he continues to be successful against Tazawa. Davis will take the pitch for a strike. Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 luxury dealer. Come see why at lexusoftowson.com. 380 on number 14 for Manny, his second hit in the ball game. 2 down, bases are empty, but the Orioles have the lead back. And Davis to right field, not deep. It's going to fall. No. Basket catch made by Betts, coming in to help out Pedroia. We've completed 7. The Orioles take advantage of a leadoff walk and a Manny Machado home run and lead at 8-5. With a very dramatic game. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you. The Orioles go on top by a score of 8-5. That's what you love about this game of baseball. You have last night, Orioles win with 13 runs, no home runs. Coming to this game, hadn't had a home run in any game in this series, and now they got 4 tonight.
Pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the Red Sox taking them all up. 13 now in this 4-game set for the Red Sox. Nice to see the Orioles offense start bopping some balls out of here at Camden Yards. Started heating up. But the Red Sox were taking all the wind out of the stadium with their long balls and clutch home runs as well. You know, the Orioles answering the last 2 games. Every time the Red Sox make a mark, they come right back and answer back. And I think yesterday was a huge game for this team. Yeah, it's still early in the season.
Yep.
And that not a must win, but really an important win at this point in the juncture. Big series against the Red Sox, who you know, took over the lead in American League East, but Orioles offense heating up for sure.
Brad Brock has come on for Michael Givens. Givens leaves as the pitcher of record for the Orioles. David Ortiz will lead it off against him. Ortiz, a home run, came in the 6th inning.
You can see Brock's opponent average 186, lefties 241, righties just 125. Defends himself very well against both lefties and righties.
And that's a heater that will come in at 95 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike count. We're in the 8th inning. Orioles an 8-5 lead. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Orioles. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Red Sox. Red Sox have stranded 4, the Orioles 2. And Ortiz will wait as Brock goes to the back of the mound with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. So let's see. This lead will stand up as the Orioles use the long ball. 2-1 delivery will be taken up high. Three-1 delivery, and he'll pop him up. Manny Machado. And he's got it. And Ortiz retired, 1 away here in the 8th inning. Join us again tomorrow. The Yankees are coming to town for the weekend set. Chris Tillman will be on the mound against Nathan Eovaldi. Our coverage on MASN, 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Southwest. Our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
We'll take a look at the Yankees season snapshot. Have some struggles offensively, only averaging 3.71 runs per game. Not hitting the home runs like they are familiar with. They've had some tough injuries. Teixeira's had a rough year. Gardner at the top of the lineup. They just got A-Rod back from a hamstring injury. Orioles have to take advantage of that. Get a team when they're down.
They're playing in Detroit tonight in that makeup game. Last score I saw was 1-1 midway through. Ramirez, couple of singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's had 3 hits and 12 at bats in the series. Lifetime 0 for 2 off Brad Brock. Ramirez will take the pitch away. Red Sox now, of course, needing runners again. A 1 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles had a 4-0 lead, saw it disappear 5-4, tied it up 5-5, and then the 3 runs in the 7th inning on the home run by Machado for the lead again. Brock way outside with it. 2-1. Like Showalter saying today of Brad Brock, he gets the credit he deserves here, but I'm not sure the rest of baseball realizes how important he is on this staff and for this bullpen. He's become the transition guy. Another one in the middle. 6th inning, 7th inning. 2-1 pitch. Didn't go. Buck is not afraid to use him now in any situation out of the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's earned that right to be in all the high leverage spots. Good slider right there. Ramirez recognizing it plenty soon enough.
Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way. He just put bat on shoulder. So trying to draw the walk. Ramirez willing to hit with a 2-strike count.
Yeah, I think Brad Brock certainly learned a lot since he's been here with the Orioles. Just keeps getting more consistent.
3-2 delivery. Ramirez will take it to right field near the warning track. Called in by Trumbo for the out. Let's take a look at our Major League Notebook on this date in history. The Expos pay tribute to Maurice Richard. of the Montreal Canadiens. They wore number 9 for the remainder of the season after his death. That's the first time one sport has recognized a player in another wearing a patch of that player. And in 1989, the O's became the 5th club to record a 3,000th victory in their franchise history, joining the Cubs, Giants, Pirates, and Yankees. That included their time in St. Louis. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Shaw. He'll go after it, launch it to center field. Jones started back, will come in and put it away. So good job by Brad Rock as the side is retired in order. Orioles up by 3. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
After the Red Sox put a charge in and answered right back, they tried to add on to their lead, but Pena gunning down Ramirez. A perfect throw. Pena just called up the DL Caleb Joseph and made an impact here, shutting down the Red Sox, putting an end to that inning, allowing the Orioles to come back. 8-5 here.
And the Orioles will try and put a couple more up. Anybody in the lineup can hit 3 home runs in a ball game. Mark Trumbo can do that. Trumbo's got number 16 and 17, 3 RBI game. Tazawa stays on. Mark will take the pitch away. Robbie Ross charged with 2 runs on a hit in 2/3 of an inning with a walk. Zach Britton, it is a save situation right now, so Britton may get another chance if the Orioles don't score anymore to come in, try and put up a save. Tazawa, the 1-0 delivery to Trumbo, and that one right out in front of home plate on the chop. Pedroia. Trumbo retired. 1 down in the 8th inning.
Tough little play right there. Split finger that Trumbo can't wait long enough for, so it's off the end of the bat, so it's spinning out there. Better be ready. Pedroia was.
Alvarez coming up. He is 0 for 3. Ground ball pop out and a strikeout. Alvarez in the DH role for the Orioles. He's had 3 hits and 8 at-bats in the 4-game set. Yankees Detroit 1-1 in the 7th inning. We'll be right back here with you tomorrow night as the Orioles stay in the division. Take on the Yankees in the first of 3. Chris Tillman, Nathan Eovaldi. 6:30 O's Extra. 7 o'clock for the ball game. And the Orioles hoping the Yankees will play about 16 innings in Detroit in the makeup game tonight. Just a 1-game makeup. 1-0 delivery, and Tazawa will miss with that one. The Orioles can hang on here. They'll pull within 1 again of the Red Sox. as the Red Sox and Orioles over the last month have gone back and forth for the lead in the division. Orioles would be even in the loss column. Tazawa, the 2-0 delivery, and that one put foul towards the seats, and no play.
The Red Sox heading. They going back home?
Yes. Red Sox finish up here. They got Toronto. They're going home for one of those 3-game homestands. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they've got, I mean, the schedule this year is just weird. Not just for everybody. They have to go to San Francisco and play 2. They have a day off Monday, play Tuesday, Wednesday, and a day off Thursday. And then go to Minnesota for 3. 2 ball, 1 strike. Delivery, got a hold of that one. High, deep, right field, scoreboard, and goodbye, home run. Enough to clear under the flag court. Alvarez gets the homer, and the Orioles get a 9-5 lead.
You like to see that. Big night offensively for Alvarez in the win yesterday. Put up his 4th home run tonight. Orioles showing their power.
Game of baseball. 5 home runs for the Orioles, who did not have one in the first 3 games. Well, the Red Sox had 12 in the first 3. Just amazing. Tazawa's given up 2. Jonathan Schoop. And outside for a ball.
Oh, here's the swing. Another beautiful home run swing, catching it out in front. And the majestic type. High and deep. Tazawa waiting. Yep, it's gone.
1-0 delivery on the way. Will miss inside. What a night. Marissa Davies, our Maryland Lottery contestant. $500 for each home run. 5 of them. Along with the $500 for being selected.
Celebrate.
You know what? You should bring her the money, and then you'd find out right where her hometown is.
That's right. And she could take me out for ice cream.
There you go.
Because she's got all this money now. Ramirez just called up today, warming up. As Alvarez with the home run extends the lead. He'll sit Zach Britton down. It's no longer a save situation. Jonathan Schoop, a couple of ground ball outs, hit by a pitch. The 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and he'll take it, and it will miss. Orioles a 5-homer ball game for the 2nd time this year. They have had 6 in a game for their high. It's just the way it's happened in this series that has made it so ironic. 3-1 delivery, and Schoop will take it, and he's on with a walk. So the Orioles got a runner on with 1 down. Only the 2nd walk they have picked up in the ball game. Tazawa surrenders his 1st. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, is on his way out. Guys who hadn't had home runs. Jones, it had been 3 weeks. Alvarez, his last home run was on the 24th of May at Houston. And Trumbo, who'd come in with only 1 hit and 10 at-bats in the series, ends up with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Adam Jones has had his 6th. Machado's had his 14th. Trumbo his 16th and 17th. And Alvarez his 4th.
Yeah, pretty nice, and it's nice to see them kind of spreading the wealth a little bit. Last 2 games, everybody contributing. It's nice to see the bottom third starting to pick it up, and this whole series they've contributed. Most of the runs scored helped out by the bottom of this lineup. Foul back by Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty's had a good night. Single, walk,
scored twice, 1 for 2 in the ball game. He get on to start the 7th inning. Manny Machado, with 2 down later in the inning, would deliver a 3-run homer with Flaherty and Pena on board. Runner off first, 1 away. And the pitch taken down low. Kenichi Tozawa is a little bit thunderstruck here. Those 2 home runs. He's not used to giving up the long ball.
A little surprised they're keeping him out there.
Yeah. 1-1 delivery on the way, and Flaherty will just nub that one foul at the plate. So the count goes to 1-2. Tozawa being asked to try and finish it up here in this inning. Flaherty 2 for 3 off him. Certainly John Farrell thinking about his upcoming series at home against Toronto and that bullpen management consideration. 1-2 delivery on the way, foul back. You never want to extend anybody too far so that you get somebody injured or you lose them for 2 or 3 games. You walk that fine line.
Absolutely. Hey, it's the toughest thing in baseball, and I think the Orioles pretty lucky. Buck Showalter probably one of the best at managing a bullpen, keeping everybody healthy, managing innings, never really overusing guys, and I think that's why they've had a lot of success. Aren't many teams that can keep running out the same core group of guys in a bullpen.
Flaherty watches that one go inside. So a 2-ball 2-strike count. Home run by Alvarez in the inning, a walk to Schoop. The Orioles leading it by a score 9-5. 9 runs, 9 hits after a 13-run, 14-hit attack last night. Tozawa with a 2-2, and that's outside 2, and it really looks like he hasn't got much going out there.
No, he doesn't. This is might be one of the worst outings I've seen him have. I mean, Tozawa has been a monster out of the Red Sox bullpen, and some inconsistencies here.
He hasn't thrown more than 25 pitches in an appearance this year. This is going to be his 23rd of this appearance for Tozawa. Runner goes 3-2, got him swinging, throw down one hop into center field. Backed up by Young. So Jonathan Schoop will stay. That's going to be a stolen base for Schoop. Flaherty goes down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning.
Split finger, his bread and butter pitch, diving down and away. So Flaherty down, and then Vasquez, strong arm, but it skips on the grass. Coming in hot there. Bogart's expecting it to come up a little bit more.
So that'll be it for Tozawa. Noe Ramirez, who was just added to the roster. You see, that's 1. I got a stolen base. 1. Me, baby. Me.
I just recalled, and he has been up and down most of the year for this Red Sox team. 26 years old, fastball 52%, breaking ball on the 20s, fastball slider curve. 5.79 in his 9 games with the Red Sox this season, working 9 1/3 innings, and lofty opponent batting average 353. Ramirez trying to finish out this ball game and limit the use of this Red Sox bullpen as they're heading back home to take on the Blue Jays to stay within the division.
27th Major League appearance for Ramirez. Last appeared with the Red Sox on April 23 at Houston. That 9th game he pitched in this season. So here are a couple of additions to the roster. One yesterday, one today for the Orioles. Pena added yesterday. Ramirez for the Red Sox today. Pena scoring ahead of Manny Machado, and another discussion. And
well, I think a lot of times they just forget there's a runner at second base. I got to go back over the signs again. My goodness.
1 for 3 in the ball game for Pena in his 10th Major League game. 2 down. Jonathan Schoop stolen base on at second. Pena in a breaking ball that ties him up, and a 1-strike count. Good pitch by Ramirez. Brad Brock looks like he'll be staying on to finish up the ball game with no saves situation existing. We'll get a chance to come back out. Givens is the pitcher of record. 2 innings, no runs on a hit with 3 strikeouts. Pretty good.
Yeah, real good.
There he is on the left. Ross gave up 2 runs, a hit, 2/3 of an inning, and a walk. I think we could do a movie with the Red Sox catchers. It wouldn't be a long one, but it'd be slow. And the pitch will be taken outside. Didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pena trying to pick up an RBI right here.
I'm very impressed with the way he handled this ball game.
Yes, I agree.
Series, and
he does not have an RBI in the major leagues. Way back in left field. Goodbye, home run. He's got 2. The Orioles deliver their 6th home run of the ball game. Francisco Pena, his first start as an Oriole and his first major league home run.
gotta love that. Making an impact. You got to believe spring training, huge help for Pena. Relaxed in the call up in this situation. Asking a lot of him. Catching Ubaldo Jimenez, who's had some struggles. Settled him down, got him through the 6th or into the 6th, and a couple big hits for Pena as well.
11-5, 11 runs on 10 hits. As Pena delivers first on one swing of the bat. Pitch for a strike.
This swing here after a knee buckling slider stays on the fastball. Elevated danger. Seems like every pitch that's been up in the heart of the plate, it's hammered in this series.
Adam Jones goes the other way down the line. Betts going. That's going to be a foul ball. And once again, the Orioles bullpen. Oh, what was that? Where's O'Day? Oh my.
That's not good.
A catch not made. Unbelievable, McFarland. Well, at least Pena's sure he's going to see the baseball. Look at this. Let me handle this. Let me handle this. Heads are down in the bullpen. 2-strike count on Adam Jones. Adam got his home run, 5th inning, his 6th. 1 for 4, 2 RBIs in the game. Every Oriole in the lineup has been on base at least once, contributing to the 11 runs. A bouncer that goes off Vasquez. Dave Wallace, Pena. A lot of discussion with Pena, obviously, is getting used to learning the pitchers that he's going to be catching.
Yeah, definitely.
He's seen them in spring training, but not much. 2-2 down the line, left field. Oh my gosh, way back and goodbye, home run. Adam Jones delivers his 2nd, number 7 on the year, and the 7th Orioles home run tonight.
I think they want to catch the Red Sox in homers this series. Pretty impressive power display, actually, by both offenses. But the Orioles taking charge in Game 4.
A 3 home run inning. And the Orioles have 12 runs on 11 hits. And 7 of the 11 hits have been home runs. Oops.
A quick warning in yesterday's ball game.
Kim will walk away. Joe Walter is taking a look to the Red Sox dugout. One-0 count on Kim. 1 for 4. And he'll foul that one back. Boy, would he like to drive one right now. So Adam Jones, 2-homer ball game for him, 2-homer ball game for Trumbo. Orioles get the back-to-back home runs, 9th time this year. That ball looped in the air behind second base, played by Bogaerts for the out. In the 8th inning, the Orioles hit 3 home runs. Amazing. A 7-home run game. Pena gets his first. Jones delivers the long ball. Alvarez had the first. 3 outs away from a win. Lon Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Summer night, the Orioles will remember with a 12-5 lead going to the 9th inning. 2-homer ball game for Adam Jones, the 2nd back-to-back with Pena. Trumbo with a couple of home runs in the game. I mean, a 7-homer ball game. And Dunsing on to finish it up.
Yeah, Brian Dunsing longtime Major League vet. Came up with the Minnesota Twins, but has bounced around here this year. Spent some time in AAA, 15 games, 2.70 earned run average. Pitching pretty well. Of course, the Orioles need little help. This could be a great opportunity for Dunsing.
Raimo will come on to play in left field. Rickard will come on to play in right. And Blake Swihart will lead it off. 1 for 3, a base hit. 5 runs in the 6th inning. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Red Sox. The only inning they have scored in. They batted around. Had a 3-run homer from Ortiz. 2 RBI single by Bogaerts. But that has been it. Now Dunsing with a chance to finish it up. Givens looking to get the win. Pitch will be taken away. 33 years old. Veteran. Starter. Used out of the bullpen for the moment for the Orioles. How long he'll be here remains to be seen. Gallardo, of course, had his first rehab today. And Buck Showalter said before the game a lot will depend on how that went and how he feels tomorrow as to what we'll be doing regarding our pitching. 2-2 delivery, and that one will be foul back. Well, the count will hold.
And Gallardo had pitched really well in his simulated games prior to that rehab start, but rehab starts a little bit more adrenaline, obviously more of the game type feel, so he may be a little sore tomorrow. Veteran though, knows the right kind of pain to have.
2-2 delivery, slow ground ball. It's fair, and Davis will come off to make sure it doesn't get away. So Flaherty couldn't handle it cleanly, probably wouldn't have mattered. Swihart's got great speed. It'll be an infield hit, his second hit of the game.
Yeah, really do or die play the way Swihart runs. Well, Flaherty's got to come in busting and gets an in-between hop, kind of tying him up there, and actually kicks towards that right leg, which makes it even tougher. Tying up the hands, can't get a handle.
Brian Dunsing, of course, also brings a left-hander into the bullpen. Good inning by Brock, who retired the side in order. Bullpen's given up nothing here in the ball game. You saw Jimenez watching, the starter, non-decision, 5 runs, 6 hits over 5 innings, but will not pick up a decision here. Will remain 2-6 on the year. Dunsing worked out of the bullpen in Norfolk. 3 relief appearances with the Tides. 3 scoreless innings, struck out 6. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Chris Young. Orioles saw quite a bit of Dunsing. He pitched a number of games against him.
Well, 7 seasons with the Twins, 41 wins.
Ground ball to the hole. That's going to be a base hit. So Young is on his first hit of the ball game. He's got a 6-game hit streak. Red Sox get 2 on here in the 9th inning. Visit MASNsports.com/CareFirst to vote for tonight's Care First Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield. And good luck with that selection.
Right.
You got a lot of positive choices to make.
Trumbo's got the distance and the hardest hit. Look at him as the most majestic. But man, Pena coming up and doing what he did today.
Caught 2 for 4, first home run major leagues, first RBIs. A lot of good choices. There's Francisco Pena behind the plate.
Threw a runner out.
.0 delivery on the way, and that's going to be a base hit into right field, just out of the reach of Scope. Got to force at second base, and they'll get it. Rickert in right field. He saw the runner. Young was waiting to see if the ball was going to be caught, so it'll be a force out at second.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You're an infielder and or a base runner, They got a freeze on the line drive, and it looked like Jonathan Schoop was going to come down with this. And there you see Young taking 2 or 3 steps back to first already. And Rickard closing in on the ball. It's the easy force at second.
9-6 on the putout. Runners at first and third now with one away. Mookie Betts at the top of the order. A walk, a run scored, but he is 0 for 3 in the game. The Orioles finally able to hold him down. And the pitch by Dunsing is there for a strike. And now Zach Britton will get back up as the potential for a save situation still a ways away here. But he needs to bring him in just to get it done. He'll do it. But Showalter will. Fouled away upstairs.
We've seen how quick this Red Sox offense can put some runs on the board.
For the Orioles, with the 7 home runs in this game, last time they had an 8-homer game, it was against Philadelphia back on June 16 of last year. They had 8 homers against the Phillies. 0-2 inside. Last time the Orioles homered in 5 straight innings, which they have done in this ball game, was August of 2014, came against the Cardinals. They homered in the 2nd through the 3rd. 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be a base hit. He just waited on that. That will bring home Swihart, and Betts extends his hit streak to 6 games with an RBI single and makes it 12-6.
Hanging breaking ball there, and he just stayed back, saw it early, big hump in it, waited for it to come down, and believe it or not, did not try to do too much. That's a guy that's got 5 home runs in this series, and he just takes what's given. Crisp single right back through the middle.
Still only 1 away. Runners on at first and second base. Here's Dustin Pedroia, a couple of base hits, 2 for 4. He'll take the strike. Orioles are the first team this season to homer in at least 5 straight innings. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in this ball game.
Well, I think kind of shows you how dangerous this Orioles offense is. Yesterday putting 13 runs on the board without a home run. Today 12 with 7 home runs. It's nice that they kind of prove to themselves that they can win in different ways.
I agree. That's very important. 0-1 count. Pedroia. I don't know if that was a foul ball. It wasn't. Nobody moves though. Ball ricocheted back off the brick all the way back out to Pena. I don't think anybody was sure whether it had been a foul ball or not, so the runner stayed.
Yeah, hard slider that scoots by on the check swing. Pena whiffing it, but it hits the wall, and when he turns around to see where it is, it comes right back to him. And the Red Sox base runners were kind of caught. He hustled back.
For Dunsing, his first major league appearance since October 4 of last year. He pitched against the Royals at the end of the season. 2 1/3 innings, no runs, and a couple of hits. That's the last time he was on the mound in the majors. Two AAA ball clubs this year, Omaha and Norfolk. 1-1 delivery on the way. A big cut. Mask off. Jeff Nelson says I'm all right.
Oh, right on the chin.
Man.
Whew. Took it like a champ, huh? Reach right in the pocket, grab another ball.
1-2 delivery will be chopped foul. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Happy to say Caleb Joseph coming along well, feeling much better each day with that testicular foul ball injury that he took. And as soon as he feels well enough, coming back to the clubhouse to check in with the guys. Matt Wieters, of course, a long game caught last night. We said last night it looked like Pena would catch in this one, and he has. 1-2 delivery and another one. Jeepers. You could hear that all the way up here.
Yeah, Pena just ducking out of the way of these foul balls. Umpire taking the brunt.
Oh,
On the shoulder.
gosh. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, the brunt of 2 foul balls in this at bat. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Dunsing's delivery. Netting out in front. Popped it up first base. Davis, infield fly rule. 2 down. So the Orioles are going to even it up at 2-2 in this 4-game set. They'll take a 4-3 edge on the season series. Givens is going to go 4-0 with a win out of the bullpen. He's going to join bullpen pitchers Brad Brock, who is 5-0 out of the bullpen. Givens will be 4-0. Worley is 2-0. Xander Bogaerts extended his hit streak in the 6th inning. 26 games for him. 2 down, 2 on.
The first 2 games of this series look pretty bleak for the Orioles. And pretty impressive turnaround by this team.
0-1 delivery. Dunsing will come inside. Ends up being a ball game in which it's a real good chance for the Orioles coaching staff to take a look at Dunsing.
Oh yeah.
The big lead. They got some room to leave him out there.
Definitely.
Left-hander, and see what he can do here, and also for him to get back to the major leagues. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that one ripped to left field. Line drive is off the glove of Reimold. It'll score a run with 2 away. Vasquez will cross the plate. He was on the fly. Bogaerts tagged it. Reimold got there, just came on as a defensive replacement. Looked like he had it, and then it bounced away.
Yeah, ball smoked, but Reimold's been playing some great defense for the Orioles, both left and right field. He had a beat on this one, but it's like his lower half couldn't get underneath him. Knees locked on the grass. If he slides, a smoother transition to the baseball. I think just when his knees hit, bounced the eyes, couldn't come up with it.
Base hit will be credited to Xander Bogaerts, the league's leading hitman. And now you got Ortiz coming up. It's 12-7. Runners on at first and second base, 2 outs. And Dunsing looking back. Scope moves in. The Orioles infield, both Machado and Scope were bouncing around there because Betts was getting a big lead. Nobody was challenging him. Not that that run exactly matters a lot, but he gained the attention of Dunsing. And Big Poppy will pop it up. Coming in is Reimold. Underneath. He's got it, and that will do it. Couple of runs scored on 4 hits here in the 9th inning. 2 are left on base. And a very exciting, if not oddball, series ends with each team taking a couple as the Orioles come away with a 12-7 win in a ball game in which they hit 7 home runs. And he had a couple of them. Adam Jones. We'll be back. One of the stars of the Orioles to join us.